Good afternoon, YouTube. I hope everybody is having a lovely day. Look what I'm dealing with out here. This is what I am dealing with out here. It has been pouring down here in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina all day. And I mean, it's been pouring. You see that pour? Whew. I'm so glad that I actually made it home. But this video is going to touch on how you live your life and what legacy would you leave behind. I thought about this one because I'm a very analytic person, and I always take the time to think about how things could be better. I take the time to think about why is things the way they are. Like, I'm a very big thinker. Like, I think a lot, and I think in terms of a philosopher to try to see how I can just contribute to the world. So, I mean, this topic is nothing, but then again, it really can fall into contributing to the world, because it boils down to just every decision you make day in and day out. And there's a scientific saying to where there's an action, there's an opposite reaction. So with every long-term goal you make, with every short-term goal you make, if you don't put any actions into place to make that your reality, then you cannot complain about why things is not working out. And then I look at people too, in situations and circumstances, and you see all types of people, from mean people, from snakes to evil people, to nice people, to good people, good-hearted people, to murderers, to people that give you the shirt off. I mean, you see all types of people. There is all types of people in this world we live in. And it just kind of makes you have to sit back and just watch to analyze who is who. And then you really need to sit back and analyze, who are you? Like, which category do you fall into when it comes to those type of people? Are you that snake? Are you that person that get off by hurting somebody or doing somebody wrong? Are you that person that like to help people every chance you get? Like, do you plant good seeds or do you plant bad seeds? And sometimes a lot of people, they live their life so rough, they treat themselves so rough. And part of treating yourself so rough could be either you a heavy drug user, you drink all the time, you always stress over everything. You know, you do things to where you tearing your body down, to where, let's just say you my age in your 30s and you look like you more like 60 years old because you done abused yourself. And that happens. You got some people that live some really rough lives, and at the end of the day, they wonder why they sickly, they wonder why they having bad karma or bad luck, or they wonder why nobody like them, or they wonder why they lonely. It's so much stuff that come behind how you live your life. But I don't think a lot of people put any effort into how you live your life. People just wake up with no purpose. You have to wake up every day with a purpose. And I totally realized that just from people I lost in my life. And now I lost my mother, to where life is short. So you have to wake up ready to live life to its fullest, ready to do good things so that you can achieve all the goals that you set forth, so you can be happy. I feel like everybody should have a bucket list. I truly feel like everybody should have a bucket list. And that bucket list can be everything you ever wanted to do in your life. Write it down on this bucket list. And as you complete this stuff, check it off your bucket. Okay, I went to go see the Grand Canyon. Check. I went to go see the Statue of Liberty. Check. I went to Disney World like 5 times. Check, 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 check. Yes, life too short. And some people say, well, I can't do those things because I don't have the money. I can't do those things because that's not possible. Anything's possible if you make it. If you're willing to put in effort, you're willing to put in the work, you're willing to be a go-getter and grind, you can make anything possible. And I mean anything. It's all right here. And I say this all the time. Everything in your life is a mindset. Everything in your life is mindset. From if you're going through that's going to be another video I make too, how to survive a crisis. Whether you're going through a crisis, whether you're going through a good time in your life, everything shows your mindset. Whether it's how you deal with your relationships, whether it's how you deal with your children, whether it's how you just deal with yourself, whether it's how you deal with accomplishments, whether it's how you deal with failure. It's mindset. And if you don't have the mindset of maturity, or you don't have the mindset of just that go-getter person, you're going to fall every time, because you want somebody to hand something to you, or you just fall down when things get a little tough or a lot tough, instead of just getting up and keep fighting back. You know, bob and weave, like bob and weave, because life is not easy, and it's not easy for nobody. So you have to live your life with a purpose. Make goals for yourself. make short-term goals and make long-term goals. Like a short-term goal could be, okay, by next month, I'm going to apply for school. Or by next month, I'm going to do something special with my spouse. Like, I'm gonna make sure, like, say y'all arguing or something, y'all can do something to where y'all start going out dates more. That can be short-term goals. Long-term goals could be to get a 2-year degree. It can be to get your master's degree. It can be to buy a house. It can be to eventually get your credit right to where you can buy a car and a house. Like, that's long. Like, make goals for yourself, because the way our brains are hardwired is that, like, the mind has, like, seeing things visually stimulates the mind to want to make you act as if you already have it, or you're going to try to go get it. So that's why if you have to leave little sticky notes on your bathroom mirror, put little sticky notes on your refrigerator, anywhere where you go the most, have a sticky note of either your short-term goal or your long-term goal, so that can help you do actions that's going to put you ahead of the game in your life. Because I'm telling you, the way you live, it determines how long you live. The way you live will determine how you look. I mean, all that stuff plays a role. And, you know, don't live your life abusing yourself. Don't live your life stressing over everything. Don't live your life putting all kind of bad substances in your body, because after a while it takes a havoc on your body, especially your liver. And your liver is your filtration system. So if your liver is gone and it can't filter out things that need to filter out, that's how you start aging prematurely, and that's how you can start getting other ailments to where, you know, you can die early death unnecessarily. So when it comes to what legacy, what you leave behind, think about everything I just said, to the point to where every action that you did, if you died right now, obviously if a person dies and they have enough money to where they can have memorial service, which is a funeral, and they able to get an obituary, your obituary is going to tell your life story. So if you are that person that planned, you one of them planners where you had life insurance, or you had enough money put aside to where somebody can put you away decently, whether it's putting you in a mausoleum, burying you, or even cremation, whatever you decide, and people had to remember you, what would people say about you? Would people have good things to say about you, or would people have bad things to say about you? And obviously whoever your beneficiary is would be the person that has to write the obituary. Like, I done wrote 2 obituaries in my whole life. I wrote one for my kid's father, and I wrote one for my mother, and I pretty much had to get all the facts of how they lived their life and pretty much write it down so that the funeral home could put it down as a story. So what is your story going to be? What is your story going to be according to how you lived your life? Are you going to have a lot of accomplishments in there? Are you going to have it to where people can really say good things and really mean what they said, instead of trying to lie because they don't want to make you look really bad? So, I mean, think about all that. And as far as a legacy, especially if you got children, you should want to leave behind something that they can remember you for, that they can be proud of. Whether it is you was a go-getter, whether it is you established assets or property that you can leave behind for them, whether it is you put morals and values in them to where they, even though you gone, they can live through your memories of what you taught them. But if you didn't teach them nothing, or all you did was waste your life away by getting high all the time, or all you did was waste your life away by doing people wrong, or being alone and not wanting to be bothered with people, you can't, I'm not going to say what you can't do, but you should not do that. You're not even just your kids. If you have family, your family should be able to have a legacy. Like, wow, I know my cousin died, but man, that dude sure was successful. He sure had a good career. Man, he sure did a lot. He lived his life. Like, you should be able to have it to where people can say you lived your life. Not to say, oh, wow, that person, man, I hope he went to heaven, because that guy never prayed. He never went to church. He was rough around the edges. I tell you, that boy stayed high all the time. Every time he turned around, he was nodding off, and then he was just cracked out, or he was just a dang dope fiend, or he was a weed head, or he was an alcoholic. Man, that guy was crazy. That guy was crazy. You'd be surprised if somebody say, you know what, I'm glad he gone, because he was a headache. I'm glad he gone. But you want somebody to say that about you. So, yes, man, live your life to the fullest. Do people right. Plant good seeds. Because like I say, where there's an action, there's an opposite reaction. So if you plant a good seed, what comes from a good seed? A good tree. If you plant a bad seed, what comes from a bad seed? A lot of times a tree won't even grow. It'll grow tainted. So plant good seeds to where you can have good karma and you can start seeing your results from your hard work instead of planting bad seeds and wonder why things not going your way, or wonder why every time you turn around you having bad luck, as they would say. But it's not bad luck. It's just the decisions that you're deciding to go with and think that it's okay. Stop self-sabotaging. Believe that what you have, you can achieve it. But you got to know that you can only achieve it through putting the work in. You got to have that work ethic. You got to have, nobody is going to hand, if you do get handed something, you lucked up. But for the most part, all of us real people got to go out here and get what it is you want. And it feels much better to get it anyway. Like, I don't want no handouts. I'm the type of person where don't give me nothing. I'd rather earn it. I'd rather, whatever I get, I'd rather say I worked for that. I earned that. Everything I got in my life, I earned that. Nobody gave me jack. I got everything that I wanted to get. That's what my mom always taught me. My mom was a go-getter just like that. She never want nobody to give her jack. She was an independent woman, and she taught her daughters how to be independent. That's why I'm very grateful for my mother for teaching me how to survive. Like, she taught me how to survive on my own. She taught me how to never depend on nobody and how to just be a go-getter. That's where I get a lot of my ways from, is her. So live your life to where there's no regrets. Live your life to where people will miss you in a good sense, not to where people know that was a jackass. That was the biggest jackass I ever know. I can't stand that motherfucker. Every time you turn around, he was doing something to people. He was just terrible. I'm glad he gone. I'm glad he gone. So leave behind a good legacy for your kids or your family, that they can have good things to say, and learn to make good decisions to where you're not sabotaging others or yourself. And it's not as hard as you think. Like, it is easy to do things wrong or to do things bad, but once you get used to doing things on a straight and narrow path, that's easy too. I find it easy to do the right thing than doing a bad thing, because if you do the right thing, you don't have to look behind your back wondering if you're going to get in trouble. You don't have to look behind your back if somebody after you or something. You don't have to look behind your back for other people trying to get you back because you did something wrong to them. Or you ain't got to look behind your back because God going to get you back. If a person don't get you back, God will. And for all you atheists, if a person don't get you back, karma will. So either way, you gonna get it back tenfold. That's all I'm gonna say. So hey, I just poured in this yard. I'm glad I had some sunlight still. I'm like, man, I hope I can make this video with good lighting, because obviously when it gets dark, there's no light in this truck and the video turns out crappy. But sorry guys that I haven't been editing. I know y'all like all that fancy editing, this and that. Man, sister just trying to get the inspiration and motivation out there. Sometimes a sister can't always be all into the editing. And I'm also about to post a Baltimore ride-along video as well, just showing y'all the streets of Baltimore. I already showed y'all some, but I got more in-depth video clips from just the surrounding parts of Baltimore. So alright guys, time is the essence. I'm making better time of it. Still giving y'all that good positivity out here, trying to motivate somebody, and hopefully this message was for somebody. So I love all of you guys. Thank all of my supporters. Thank everybody that really, you know, messes with me like that and accept me for who I am. So alright y'all, deuces. Make good decisions. Deuces.